Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we are building the Sukhoi 30. Now this is a bit of a voice reveal, but we don't have to dwell on that too much right now. You can see I am building the cockpit here. I'm stacking 3 different stock cockpits all into one. It's the same thing I did in the last video, but I angled these down. All of the flankers, if you look in the pictures that I'm looking at, they all are shaped in a unique way. That's it's unique to the whole flanker family, if you will. They all have this unique shape to their front end, and I've always really liked that look. The flankers are some of the coolest looking planes in my opinion, if we're talking about mainly Russian aircraft. But yeah, I will give a bit of a warning, a bit of an early warning if you will, but I spend a good amount of time, like 60 to 70% of the entire recording, just wasting it on the smallest of things, like putting things on, taking them off, rotating them, shifting them, clipping them, like all of that. And you'll see even early on, like I'm just struggling with things that I normally wouldn't be struggling with. I think the main issue being that flankers are such a unique shape. Like they are very pretty aircraft, but trying to recreate that in Kerbal Space Program is so hard, especially with how well everything flows with each other. Like this middle part coming off the back of the cockpit onto the wings, I spend a disgusting amount of time trying to figure out how I can recreate that. But you'll soon see that I do come up with a method that I am somewhat satisfied with. I still think that at the end, it's not the best looking, but I think if you were to look at it from a distance or at a glance, you probably think it was a flanker. So that's that. I will say that by the end of this build, I wasn't too happy with how it looked at all. Especially after the last video, I was somewhat proud of the Mirage, but coming to this and thinking that, or coming into this with the same confidence that I had last video, and it turning out the way it did, just, it didn't feel right. But anyways, that's enough dogging on myself. I want to talk about the Sukhoi 34, right? The Sukhoi 30, from a lot of the pictures I saw, did not have canards. There are some versions of it that don't have canards at the front, but I purposely put them on mine because if we're taking into consideration that the Sukhoi 30 is meant to be like a dogfighter, an air superiority fighter, it would make sense to have the canards for maneuverability, right? While the 34 is, if you look it up, it is a much larger aircraft. You know, the seats are right side by side. And it's more of kind of like a bomber plane, if you will, like a very hefty aircraft. So that's kind of the difference I want to point out before I make the Sukhoi 34 in the future. Now, I want to take some time to talk about some comments from the last few videos. First of all, I really do appreciate everybody's support. It's so cool to see that people are enjoying the builds, the videos that I've been making. That's super cool. Another thing is, somebody did ask me about BD Armory, or if I did BD Armory competitions or something like that. While that would be cool, I want to keep all my videos stock. You know, I don't want to go any further than just the visual mods I have right now. Another comment, somebody asked me to look at the B-47 like Stratojet. It's like a bomber plane or something. It was really cool. That is going to be a future video, I can guarantee that. I do have that as a plan. It's just not going to be immediate. I want to do some of the planes on the wheel, or I might just finish the wheel altogether. But we will see. It's going to be a video for sure though. Well, the plane is kind of coming along now. We are actually we are far into the build now, but the recording was like an hour and a half, a little bit more than that. And this is, it's obviously sped up, but it's sped up like 800 or like 1,000 times the normal speed. So that's why all the videos that I've been making recently are about like 7-ish minutes, because I speed them up a lot. A lot of my earliest videos were actually way longer than this. You can go look at them right now. They're way longer than the most recent ones. But that was mainly because I didn't speed up the footage as much as I do now. And I think I'm just gonna keep it this way because there's not really a reason to have the video longer than 10 minutes, if I'm being real. I feel that the ending, the showcase kind of montage part of the plane is a lot more interesting, or at least a lot more entertaining to watch than just the build alone. But I do know there's some people out there that do genuinely enjoy watching the build. I know I do enjoy watching the build. I enjoy watching the pieces come together. I enjoy watching the process of things. It doesn't even have to be just KSP alone. You know, and an example would be cooking. I enjoy watching people cook. I enjoy cooking myself. That doesn't mean I don't enjoy, you know, the food. It doesn't mean I don't enjoy the plane, the final product. But it doesn't hurt to enjoy what it took to get there, you know? But I digress. As you can see right now, we do have like an actual plane coming together, right? If you've been watching for the past couple of minutes, you might have noticed that I added a lot of small details, especially on the underside. I tried to keep everything relatively flat. There were some parts where it was sticking out through the bottom that I didn't really like the look of. So I did cover it up with some elevons, I think, something like that. The idea is to have everything flow into each other. There's no big holes or anything like sudden stops, like sudden right angles, anything like that. I tried to keep that to a minimum. I also mentioned in the last video, but I like inverting these small intakes, these small air intakes, as a way, like kind of like a surface, right? Kind of like a ramp, if you will. I explained in the last video where I got the idea to use these intakes from, and it was this YouTuber called HexDragon on YouTube. They used to upload, like, I think it was a decade ago at this point. They would make fighter jets and stuff like that on the older versions of KSP. And it was so cool just watching how creative you had to be back then to pull it off. A specific video, I think they were building an F-16, and it was the first time I saw somebody use these intakes as a way to smoothen the area between the fuselage and the wing. And ever since that video, I tried it, and I've just been doing that for my entirety of playing this game. Yeah, so I guess shout out to HexDragon on YouTube if they're still there. They've just been a huge inspiration for the stuff I do now. And right now you can see me try to make these vertical stabilizers, these rudders, and I do spend a good time trying to figure out what to do. It's kind of like that for all of the builds I do, where I spend a lot of time on just the back end of the planes. The Sukhoi 30 also has these small like winglets next to the engines. If you look at the pictures, it shows up. I couldn't really figure out how to do it properly, so I just stuck these basic winglets on, and I just thought it would be fine. Yeah, so here you can see me finalizing everything, and I'm about to go on a test flight. Now, test flights are usually important because I find anything wrong or anything out of place and I fix them. But I spend a good amount of time just screwing around, flying around, because this thing is just so maneuverable. You can see I'm adding some final tweaks here, like some struts. I'm moving the fuselage, I'm trying to make it match the picture better. But yeah, this thing was super maneuverable, it was super fun to fly, I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy watching that. I hope you like it a little bit more than I do. But anyways, that is the plane done. So here is the Sukhoi 30.